This is a monocular telescope. I received it to review for free from the Amazon Buying Voices review program. If you wanted to purchase this, it would cost $40. I was not paid for my review, and my opinions are my own. So in the package you get a little instruction card, you have a cell phone adapter, you have a small tabletop tripod, you have a belt case with a kind of narrow belt loop, in the case you have a cleaning cloth, and a small kind of hand strap. So the monocular itself has a pop-down front cover. It has two connection points for the hand strap. It goes here. It has a small place on the bottom that is where your tripod would attach. So you can screw your tripod in there, and has an eyepiece cover. So the eyepiece has a fold-out, spin-up-down eye cup. It also has a ring on the side, and this ring will rotate about 90 degrees to go from 12x to 36x as marked here. And then it has a focusing knob on the top as well. So the hand strap for this monocular is better than some I've seen. It has Velcro in here and on these guys, so you basically place these inside here. They stick to it, and this thing comes down and covers it, and then your hand goes through that strap. And it holds reasonably well, and that's a better attachment than I've seen on several of these, so that's a high point for this particular model. And there's just enough extra length here that you can attach the lens cap with that. So when you take the lens cap off, then you get extra looseness that you can hold this thing on your hand with. And when you pull the lens cap forward, it kind of tightens it down against the thing. So it claims a 55mm aperture, measuring closer to 50 at this little rubber ring here, and the lens is not appearing to be bigger than that. So it looks like the actual aperture size here is closer to 48 or 50 millimeters. So with this knob set at the 12x setting, the exit pupil size here is about 3.7 millimeters. So you can see that exit pupil there. When I twist the zoom ring, it gets significantly smaller. So that's at the 12x setting, and this here is at the maximum zoom setting. So at the maximum zoom setting, the exit pupil is about 2 millimeters. Alright, so doing the math on the exit pupil and the aperture size here, when it's set at the lowest setting, it's about 12 or 13 magnification. When it's set at the highest setting, it's closer to 25x magnification, so it is doubling the magnification there, but it's not tripling it up to like 36. So the cell phone adapter is a push fit over the eye cup, and it's pretty tight to get on there. I'm not worried about coming off other than maybe pulling the eye cup off. That is a tight fit there, and I cannot get it all the way down, so there is a bit of gap here, and hopefully that won't pose an issue for focusing. But it is a little bit tighter than I think it needs to be for this particular eye cup. So I was able to get this guy on that guy and take some pictures through it, but it never really got as far on as it should have been. And I'm not sure if the problem is with this guy or this guy. This guy says 42, you know, and so it is right at 42. Some places it might go to 41.9, you know, so it's pretty close to 42. Now this guy here is closer to 42.6, 43. So I would say this guy's a little bigger than it's supposed to be for this guy to fit on it. I was able to get pictures through it, but the field of view might have been just a little bit smaller than it should have been if the phone had been closer in. The tripod is your generic cheap plastic tripod. It has these extendable legs that can go out and make it a little bit taller. It has a head that you can adjust around, so you loosen this, you can move it around and point at things and then tighten this up I had a hard time adjusting this while pointing at a target and then tightening it and having it still point at the target when I was done adjusting it. Part of that was because this guy was mounted with the cell phone hanging off the back, and so it was back heavy and was trying to flop around a bit. But this tripod is okay. You can make it point at a target and take a picture with the timer on your phone so it's not wiggling around. But it takes a lot of effort to get it to do that. So, you know, it's acceptable, but it's nothing great. All right, so they're fudging on the specifications here. It's only a 50mm lens. The zoom goes from about 12 to 24 instead of 12 to 36. Optically, it's acceptable. It's not great. I've seen worse though. When it gets up to the maximum zoom, the pupil, exit pupil is getting kind of small. It starts to get tiring to look through. You can look through it, you can see the image, but if you try to do it for long periods of time, it's kind of hard to keep it centered and your eye feels tired. Now at the lower setting, you know, 12, 13x, it was perfectly acceptable to use for a decent amount of time. Focuser works smoothly, allows you to pull focus pretty well. Optically, there is a good image in the center of the view, but around the edges, things start to get chromatic aberrations and kind of fuzzy. So the image quality doesn't extend all the way to the edge. You know, and at this price point, it's about average for the price point. It does seem to have a little more magnification than a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys are 10x or 12x. With this guy, it does have the adjustment, so you can get up to about 24x. And so if you need to see farther away, see things that are smaller, that extra magnification may be worth getting this particular model for you. The adjustable eye cup here worked well for me, so if you take your glasses off, you pull it out this way. If you're using it with glasses, you roll it back in, just put your glasses right up against it. There was enough eye relief for me to use this with glasses with this eye cup pushed all the way forward. So all in all, my review is, it's okay.